My name is Leslie Pittman, and I've just completed an action research project for EDL 6123, Research for Educational Practitioners. I'm one of the instructional specialists for the Springdale Public School District, and I had the privilege of conducting that research focused on student achievement for the administration and staff of Southwest Junior High School. I've worked with Mrs. Shannon Tischer, the principal of Southwest Junior High, on a number of occasions, and she's very open to instructional strategies and interventions that empower her students as well as her staff. I approached Mrs. Tischer about conducting an action research project using her 8th grade science students and her staff. With her permission, I approached the 2 8th grade teachers and they agreed to the research. Although the previous interactions with administration and staff made the research at Southwest Junior High School much easier, the diversity data was the reason Southwest was chosen as the test site. Springdale School District has 4 junior highs. All 4 schools were analyzed for their diversity and compared to the overall diversity of Springdale School District. Southwest Junior High matched the diversity of the district almost exactly. Therefore, the outcome of the study in Southwest Junior High would then reflect the possibility of what the district could do overall. From this point, the focus was then on the 2 8th grade science teachers. I will refer to them by their first name only, Janice and Mike. Janice agreed to be the test classroom for the selected intervention, and Mike was very comfortable being the control group. The 8th grade was selected due to their diversity being very similar to one another, down to the percent of special education students, lower socioeconomic students, and the diversity of minority students. The intervention chosen was argument-driven inquiry, also known as ADI. Arkansas science teachers are learning new science standards unlike anything they have seen in over 35 years. The move is to critical thinking, not just rote memorization of facts. This is a difficult shift for teachers, but not so much for students. ADI takes the science and engineering practices embedded in the new Arkansas K-12 science standards and puts them into practice. Some of the most impactful pieces of ADI are the argument session and the peer review. The student must read and annotate background information, being led by the instructor, in order to glean information for creating a procedure in order to complete the given task. Once completing the task, the students must then be able to defend their outcome in a round-robin argument session. This is powerful due to the speaking and listening components embedded within the process. These components are what our special education and our English language learners need the most. It is then from the argument session that the peer review comes into play. The students must analyze the feedback from the reviewers and defend whether they will take the advice or not in the revisions for their lab reports. Self-reflection and analysis. Again, more critical thinking skills our students do not get to use often. Janice was thrilled with the overall process of the intervention, and the results of the process were analyzed using the ACT Aspire interim results. As you can see, the growth point indicates a significant difference in the students who received the material using the ADI pedagogy versus the students who received the material using traditional instructional methods. The outcome of the intervention was presented to Mrs. Tischer and her administration team. From those small results, the entire science staff was then trained on how to use the ADI pedagogy. The Southwest Junior High School has since been rated an A school by the Arkansas Department of Education. There were only 11 schools in the state of Arkansas receiving that ranking. Mrs. Tischer made it very clear to the Springdale superintendents that the ADI intervention employed in the science department was a factor in their rating. Although the research was only conducted on a small group, and the research needs to be continued, the outcome was significant enough that all science teachers will be trained in argument-driven inquiry to be used as an intervention and a pedagogy in their classes for the school year 2018-2019.